The Dao De Jing, pronounced Dao De Jing. Chapter 28. This chapter describes a deliberate choice, knowing where strength lies, and standing somewhere else. Jai kai zong, shu kai sai, wei tiānxià zai. Wei tiānxià zai, chang de bu lai, fugi yu yīng'ér. Jai kai bai shu kai hai, wei tiānxià shi. Wei tiānxià shi, chang de bu ti, fugi yu wújí. Jai kai róng, shu kai ru, wei tiānxià gu. Wei tiānxià gu, chang de nai zu, fugi yu pu. Pu san zai wei kai, shèngrén yang zhai zai wei guānzhǎng, gu da zhai bu ji. In English, know the masculine, keep to the feminine, become the valley stream of the world. As the valley stream of the world, constant virtue never leaves you, and you return to the state of a newborn. Know the white, keep to the black, become the model of the world. As the model of the world, constant virtue never wavers, and you return to the limitless. Know the glorious, keep to the disgraced, become the valley of the world. As the valley of the world, constant virtue becomes sufficient, and you return to the uncarved wood. When the uncarved wood is split, it becomes implements. The sage uses it and becomes the head of officials. Great governance does not cut. The chapter moves in 3 parallel waves, each one the same shape. Know something strong, bright, or honored. Then hold its opposite. Then see what you become. The first pair, masculine and feminine. Chinese letter xióng and Chinese letter psi don't map neatly onto gender as we use it today. They're closer to active force and receptive capacity. The image lay as he reaches for is a valley stream. Chinese letter xi, pronounced qi, which is low, which receives all the runoff from the hills around it, which never runs dry precisely because it gathers what flows down. Power through reception. The valley stream doesn't compete with the hillsides above it. It outlasts them. The second pair, white and black, the bright and the obscure, knowing clearly but keeping to what cannot be shown. The result is becoming the Chinese letter shi, the model, the pattern, the standard others orient by. There's something in this about the person who always announces what they know. They exhaust what they have. The one who holds back, who accepts the darker position, stays oriented. Constant virtue, the text says, doesn't deviate. Chinese letter, Chinese letter, Chinese letter, Chinese letter, chang de bu ti. The third pair is the most uncomfortable. Glory and disgrace. Chinese letter and Chinese letter, knowing honor and accepting humiliation. The result is becoming a valley. Chinese letter gu, a hollow that holds, and from that comes the return to Chinese letter pu, the uncarved wood, raw material, the thing before anyone has decided what shape it should take. The final lines are the hinge of the whole chapter. When Chinese letter, uncarved wood, is split and carved, it becomes tools, useful things. The sage uses that wholeness and becomes a leader. Then the last line, Chinese letter, Chinese letter, Chinese letter, Chinese letter, great governance does not cut. What does it mean not to cut? The image is of a ruler who does not divide the world into parts and then try to manage each part separately. Cutting produces pieces. The wholeness is gone. A leader who governs by wholeness, who doesn't impose rigid categories, who doesn't require people to perform strength or rank or visibility, holds something that a leader who divides cannot. The infant image near the beginning is worth pausing on, returning to the newborn. Chinese letter, yīng'ér. The text isn't asking for innocence, or for pretending not to know what you know. It's pointing at a particular kind of openness, the state before a person has organized everything into what they're strong at and what threatens them. The constant virtue that is described, Chinese letter chang de, stays with you when you stop insisting on the form you've already decided to take. This has practical weight. We generally assume that knowing something is the same as having it. Knowing you're strong means you should lead with strength. Knowing you're right means you should make sure everyone sees it. This chapter says no. Knowing is only the beginning. The harder move is what you do after you know. A surgeon who has performed a procedure 1,000 times and still listens to the patient without assuming. An engineer who knows exactly how a system works and stays curious about what they might have missed. The knowledge is there. The choice is what posture you take with it. The uncarved wood carries the same idea. It is not a finished thing, not yet an implement, and because it hasn't been carved into one fixed use, it still holds all possibilities. When it is split, you gain specific tools. You lose the wholeness, governance, and maybe any form of leadership that keeps trying to categorize and divide its way to order will always end up with a pile of pieces and no way to put them back. There is something genuinely counterintuitive here that the text refuses to soften. The valley stream doesn't rise. The uncarved wood is never finished. The one who knows glory keeps to disgrace. This is not a temporary strategy for eventually gaining the high ground. It is the practice itself, to know where the strength is and keep to the yielding, not as a trick or a strategy, but as the posture of someone who has stopped needing to be seen holding the higher position. The next chapter is 29.